Live from New York, it's Ask This Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another fabulous and friendly Ask the Engineer. It's me, Lady Ada, your friend in making and hacking, and then with me is also Mr. Lady Ada, who has a cold exterior but a warm heart.
Yeah.
Kind of like Edward Scissorhands.
Smiling on the inside.
Smiling on the inside. We've got an exciting show for you tonight, all sorts of good stuff, a lot of news. We got some fun videos. We had an epic show and tell, which is why we're starting a few minutes late, but I can't wait to tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Let's just go right into this show.
Yeah.
Let's just go
instead of delaying like we normally do. What are you talking about? Okay, all right. On tonight's show, the code is NFC.
Near field communication.
10% off all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. That gets you 10% off in the store. Everything except for gift certificates and software. Show and tell. People around the world showing and sharing. And tonight was a piece of history. A piece of history was shown and shared.
It was pretty awesome.
Packed a mailbag. Isn't going to stop by. Oh yeah, we have a special thing that we're doing tonight. So I'm going to go back to, we have lots of videos and new products tonight. So wearables, 3D printing, we have some Raspberry Pi news, new products, and we're going to answer your questions. All that and more on Ask an Engineer. Tonight we have a special interview that we're doing with Mitch Altman.
We'll get back to mailbag next week.
No biggie. Yeah, no, I have to.
We have 5,000 letters.
I have to decide, and I also have news. So we have a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the news is important. We gotta get this news.
Yeah. Okay, so let's pay some bills. NFC's the code all the way up to 11:59 p.m. tonight.
NFC.
Yeah.
In honor of the many NFC tags and wings that we have.
We have NFC stuff going on, and don't forget we have the $200 or more permanent proto half size and free UPS ground in the USA. It's working out. People get packages. New York City, same day before 11 a.m. in certain zip codes on checkout, you will be able to see it.
Perfect for artists or students, people working at agencies. You definitely need some NeoPixels tonight. You can get them, not tonight because it's too late, but you can order tomorrow morning and get them by the evening. It's possible. We do it to many locations in Manhattan. Check the list of zip codes.
Yep, on checkout it'll display it if you can do it. And just programming note, because people ask, this is Ask an Engineer every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and Show and Tell every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. This week, we've been doing a bunch of Lady Adas. We usually do these on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and over the weekends, look for them.
But I'm going to walk them out because we have this Pi Zero contest, which has been working out real well.
So we've got a lot going on.
Talk about that later.
This week on the Show and Tell, we had lots of things. Lady Ada, what was on the Show and Tell?
Okay, I'm going to get to this really fast. So it started with Tony DeCola from Adafruit Northwest. He had an ADC demo, an analog digital converter demo for the Raspberry Pi. He actually did a Pi Zero project too. And he's been doing a lot of work porting and adapting all of our Python libraries to Python 3 and putting them in PyPy. So this week he did a demo with the ADS1115, which is a programmable gain amplifier from TI. It's 16-bit ADC, really high quality. And so he made a smart scale because you can actually connect a load cell directly to this analog digital converter and it can actually read the weight. So he made coffee using, like cold brew coffee using the scale. And it was basically an update of his smart cocktail shaker that he made a couple years ago. So it's kind of fun. Non Pedro had a beautiful low poly heart with an infill design. Just experimenting with how to make multicolored designs using only a single extruder, and also messing, like instead of hiding from the fact that when 3D printing, you have infill and this kind of cubic design, they actually kind of embraced it and did a really nice job highlighting what 3D printers are really good at making. So that's beautiful. And also a video will show shortly for the holiday, the Hallmark holiday, as they say. Richard A. Showed off his latest version of the LED Diva. It's been used by cosplayers and LARPers. One person made an axe that when you hammer a zombie with an axe, it lights up in green, and it looks cool. And also he made a NeoPixel sequin for his projects because he wants to have a particular kind of LED sequin. Jack made a Tor Ethernet to Wi-Fi router. It's just like a Tor router, but it's designed with a Raspberry Pi so that when you plug it in to Ethernet, it broadcasts a Wi-Fi access point that when you connect to it, you go through Tor, so you can make sure that your stuff's secured. Really great for if you want to use Tor on your tablet or your phone. You can't install Tor on Apple iOS, but you can use this to route your traffic through Tor. Sweet. Jarrett had a science fair project, which I think is going to get some ribbons. It's a vehicle sensor with a big LED matrix and multiple ultrasonic sensors. So it can tell you when you're about to hit something, or if you're not parking parallel straight, or all sorts of other car things I don't understand because I don't have a car. But yeah, it looked really cool. Very, very advanced project. Lots of stuff going on there. Sean built an FM radio transmitter, and it worked. Congratulations. Bob made 2 projects, a little heart with an acrylic heart with fluorescent acrylic that's been bent, and used a high-power white LED to make a heartbeat. So it's a little Valentine that blinks. And he also made a really cool spa soother. So it was like did you say Raspberry Pi, and it had like LED matrix and like soothing, and it played audio. So it was like kind of a neat project. And then we had special guest Star Simpson, fellow MIT engineer. She's been working on a Forest MIMS project that we've been seeing her tweet about. And so she was like, hey, I want to come by and show off my project. I said, hell yeah, come by. And she's making custom PCBs for to honor and demonstrate the work that Forest MIMS did in teaching a lot of people electronics. So the 2-transistor LED blinker, the 556 Atari Punk console, the comparator-based LED voltage meter, and this classics, and the PCBs are these really beautiful PCBs. The silk screen is like his text, and on the back there's like the schematic, and it shows you what pins are what. So it's like really neat. I'm calling like 2016 is the year of the later.
Yeah, I'll be back.
2016 is the year of the beautiful PCBs. I signed up for the Bold Port Club for the PCB hacking club. So like I love these beautiful PCBs. My PCBs are always just like rectangular, but I love it when people take it to the next level. Yeah. And then Aiden adapted, he's been doing a lot of soft robots, but now he's finally merging soft and hard robots by taking a me arm and adding a soft gripper so that you can grip and pick up things with the me arm, but you have like the strength of the robotic arm with the flexibility of the gripper. So it's kind of nice. It's like a combination of skills. Really awesome showing, a lot of new people too. So check out the show and tell on YouTube.
Yeah. I think the project that Star's working on with Forest MIMS is one of my favorite things because it's the generation of electronics, DIY electronics, is handing it off to the next generation. And this is a perfect combination of the two.
Yeah.
Star, a high-profile engineer, doing this stuff, using OshPark, tweeting and showing all this stuff, and people saying, oh, that's a cool font. What is that? That's his handwriting.
Yeah, like she scanned his handwriting and imported it into EagleCAD.
Yeah.
I remember she tweeted and she was like, my Gerber file is like 16 megabytes. I'm like, yeah, because you know it's not meant for rastering, but you can do it. It's just fun. So she had some lovely OshPark PCBs. It's really sweet.
To get on the show and tell, just check out google.com/plus Adafruit around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. You'll see a link. We have so many people in the show and tell circle that you just have to look for the link. Do the best you can. For special projects, we try to get folks in advance, but for the most part, it works out. We're there every week, so it's kind of unlimited as far as opportunities. As long as they're making Wednesdays,
we're going to be here. Yeah,
we'll probably be doing this.
Check it out. Refresh. Click on the link.
All right. So
we have a packed show, so we're going to skip ahead.
I'm bumping our usual segments because we have some other things that came up. So, Lady Ada, over the last couple years, there's been things that happened with electronics that are kind of in the maker world. And we have a maker business newsletter. We try to do talks about running companies. And in addition to being, I think, one of the best electronics places online, we also became a publication in a lot of ways. You did an interview with Paul Horowitz, author of The Art of Electronics.
Yep.
We had Rick, the president of Micro Center.
That was cool.
We have.
We had a bunch of maker biz. We had Chris Anderson.
We had Chris Anderson, Brady Forrest. We had the CTO of the United States tour Adafruit, and we filmed it. So,
but the most important interview we've ever done.
No. And so what's happened is we became a place, because I think we asked really good questions. And so over the last couple of years, if you use FTDI chips, you've heard of FTDI gate. And basically, this is what look, everyone wants to be a hashtag now. So basically, if whether you knew it or didn't know it, if you had a counterfeit FTDI, when Windows updated your software, the drivers, it might not work the way you expected.
Yeah.
And this was something that was dramatic and traumatic, especially on Twitter and all sorts of websites that cover electronics. I've seen this happen once and now twice.
The
And-
previous version of the driver actually disabled
Yeah.
the counterfeit components so that they wouldn't show up anymore when you plug them into
Yeah.
USB. And then recently there's another version that just came out of the
Yeah.
driver. That driver got rolled back, but now there's a version where the chips don't work.
Yeah.
And if they're counterfeit, they'll transmit a message
So-
that says it's counterfeit, but they just doesn't function anymore.
So FTDI, they've been around for like 25 years. Fred Dark's the CEO. I've never met him. We don't know him. So when I saw this outrage online, I thought, well, let me talk to a couple people and I'll send some questions. And these are questions I wanted to ask. I got your input as well. And basically, in case you're wondering, I asked what happened and why didn't you just put up a message on the website?
Yeah, I also asked why are the newer chips less expensive?
Yeah,
And
you're very strategic about. You're like, I want to know why are you pricing the chips this way?
I was just curious, like why?
Yeah.
How does this happen? This is my chance. You guys ask him.
We asked really good questions. We asked about the company, and we didn't say, how could you do this? I can't believe this. We did say, what happened? Why did you do it? Why didn't you put up a message on your website or a message that came up? And so Fred answered all those questions. I had no idea what was going to happen when I sent these over. And so they're on our website. And I think that if you look at the questions and you look at the answers, it's pretty good.
You may not agree with his answers, but he did answer them.
That's what I found.
He said, like, hey, this is why we're doing it this way. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that I would do it. I mean, I'm not in his situation, but he explained his thought process, and I'm like, okay, well, thank you for explaining it. Like, that's all I can ask for.
So that's what I found.
I don't run FTDI chip.
So that's what I found because a site that I founded a long time ago, Hackaday, I have nothing to do with it now. It's my logo and it's the site I made.
Yeah.
Other people run it now. In the comments, people didn't like some of his answers. Therefore, it's my fault. So
Well, that's the best part about
So,
running
like,
a
I'm the
company.
messenger. So, anyways, I wanted to ask these questions because no one did. No one asked these questions at all. And so I thought it'd be neat, sent them over, and you can read them for yourself. But anyways, it's on our website right now. It's part of our Maker Business newsletter. We will continually try to push what it means to be a hardware company and also a content company. We had an interview that didn't go the way I expected. We interviewed the new CEO, Jonathan, of MakerBot, and they couldn't and wouldn't let us do the interview. So I had to summarize
that was
what
weird.
we talked about. And it was super weird, but
He
know what?
wasn't so into it.
Wasn't into it at all. I don't believe he was. It's my opinion. And I put that in the article. And so there's times when it just doesn't work out the way you expected. So
Look, all you can do is send questions. I wasn't surprised he even answered the questions. I was expecting it to be like, we'd never get an answer. But his Twitter account and email is public. Like, I would love to see other people ask him questions too. If there's something that I missed, please ask him, get an answer, and blog it up. But it sounds like he's made decisions in his life. Other people may not agree with it, but
anyways,
he made them.
I think this just shows that if you're a publication and you care about electronics, don't just fall into the outrage. Ask good questions, send them to the people at the companies, and see if you can get a response and then post it up. I don't think the trend of just opinion and snark is the way to get people to talk. I don't, because it's just like, well, it's all snark, it's all outrage.
It's also interesting, like some groups get to have a back and forth and some don't. So like FTDI, actually, I don't believe anyone ever asked them.
I don't think anyone ever emailed on the contact form because they answered right away. And these weren't easy questions. This wasn't like, you're the best.
Yeah.
It was, what happened, and why didn't you do what folks suggested?
Yeah.
Was a notice on the webpage and maybe a message on the where that would pop up or something like that. And they gave answers. It was also interesting to hear, like, what was their intent?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not in their position. I think it's, I mean, we don't have a lot of counterfeits in the same way that the chip companies do. I mean, chip companies have massive counterfeiting issues. I mean, I have purchased chips on the gray market that were counterfeit. The chips were discontinued, so I had to buy them on the gray market, and once in a while I would get burned.
Yeah.
It does happen, so...
My
I mean, you can buy new FTDI chips. Like, you don't have to go to the gray market.
Yeah.
You can buy them Digi-Key or Arrow or
My opinion
Avnet.
about this is there's so many outragey insults about this. That's done. That's solved. The internet has taken care of that. And so asking the CEO who made that decision about why wasn't being told.
Yeah.
So we have that on our site. So if there's
Check it out.
so we'll continue to come up with cool interviews.
And if any of you have ideas for people you want us to interview, well, we'll interview other people. It's real easy. Just send them an email and just say, hey, can I ask you some questions? And they're usually like, yes.
So anyways, if you do electronics, this is very interesting. This is so
I was
interesting.
actually very interested by the answers. You should check them out because I learned quite a bit about the counterfeiting business.
Yeah.
And also, not all of their chips are counterfeited. Only one package type is counterfeited. So it's like interesting. Prolific went through the same thing, and Prolific did something different. So this is interesting to see two different. You actually get to see two companies with almost the identical product take two different tracks, and it's interesting to see which one feels like what they did was the right thing. I don't know. It's not easy. If you're in the chip fab business, you're going to get counterfeited.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, very interesting. We hope to have this type of. We're not journalists, but I would say that we do journalism sometimes because we want to find out what's in the mind of these people when they make these decisions.
Yeah.
Like what was the CEO thinking when he said this is something that we're going to do? We're going to update Windows and cause this to happen. That's an interesting. It's an interesting.
Look, I mean, they did it twice, so there must. It's not like it was. The fact that they did it twice, if I find fascinating, because it's like if they did it once and it was a total disaster for them, they wouldn't have done it again. But the fact that they went back and did it again is just like.
Yeah. Anyways.
Interesting. Interesting. Also interesting company, privately held, 25 years, Scottish.
Yeah. And FTDI has been part of the maker movement from the start because of Arduino, SparkFun, Adafruit. We all use these chips. And everyone has gotten burnt or heard about getting burnt with the counterfeit chips out there.
How do you stop counterfeits? How does one stop counterfeits? It's actually a tough problem.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll keep doing this. And thank you for all the people who actually read the interview.
Thanks for doing it. Look, I don't run FTDI chip. All I can do is ask questions.
We don't make FTDI.
I have no interest.
Where do we buy ours from? Do we buy them from?
Well, we actually don't. We don't actually use FTDI chips for all of our new designs. We're using Scilabs, the CP2104. That's what I'm kind of using nowadays. Okay. But for some of our old designs, we have used FTDI chips, and we would get them from DigiKey. Mm. But the chip that we're getting is not the one that's counterfeited.
Okay.
Which is what's interesting.
Yeah.
I buy them from the official source, but it's not that chip is the only chip that's counterfeited is this old one.
Yeah.
You can get a new one that's even better, but it's it's interesting. It's the only ones that are counterfeited is the old one.
Anyways, I think this is neat, and I hope that alleviates the conspiracy theory that obviously we're making tons of money with FTDI. We're not.
I don't even use their chips anymore.
You stopped using their chips?
Yeah, the fact of the matter is that the Scilabs chips are able to do much higher speeds.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like half the cost. So the CP2104 can do 921 kilobaud for ESP8266 updates, and the FTDI can't. Okay. So
this is good feedback.
It's not
I'll
even.
send this link to FTDI, and I'll see if they want to consider updating.
If they can hit 70 cents a chip, I'll take a look at it. But and do 900 kilobaud.
Okay.
With the ESP.
High
praise.
Okay.
Nice work, Scilabs. I have a friend at Scilabs, so I feel like I can throw them some love.
All right. Next up, if you go to your Apple TV, if you have an Apple TV, and go to the App Store and search for Adafruit, you will see our spiffy, amazing new Apple TV channel. So this is all the playlist and all the things that you normally see on YouTube or elsewhere, and now it's on
In fact,
TV.
This will be on Apple TV, so later on we should take a screenshot of this with this, and then we can show it again next week.
Yeah.
So it's super meta.
Okay. Some Raspberry Pi news. We're wrapping up our contest videos. Speaking of Hackaday, and by the way, I have, I got it over here. Thank you so much, the folks at Hackaday. They did a drawing of Lady Ada.
This is really nice.
They did a drawing of Lady Ada and they sent a poster.
Thank you.
Isn't that neat?
Thank you, folks. I don't get any compensation for doing these. By the way, I'm also, there is no money exchanging hands. I do these videos because I love them and I really like doing stuff with Hackaday and showing off the Pi Zero. So, and you don't have to buy a Pi Zero. You win one for free.
Yeah, so
that's the whole point. You win it.
There's not a lot of Pi Zeros, so we're giving away 10 Pi Zeros. All you have to do is post your idea on hackaday.io. and they're already over the like 70 projects mark. So you still have a pretty good
projects are
chance
pretty cool.
to win. And anyways, that's the Hackaday.io Raspberry Pi contest. There's no Raspberry Pi Zeros at the moment. This is your best chance to get one.
You still have 2 weeks to enter and win a Pi Zero, and then you get another 2 weeks to enter the grand prize of $100 gift certificates on the Hackaday store, which is awesome. And you can win both things. And you can still enter your project into the Hackaday contest for 2016. So you can win like the trip to space. So like go to space with your Pi Zero and your $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a question for you, ladies. This is for the middle stuff. Do you want to do learn stuff, or do you want to just go right into the Mitch interview and then do new products? If it was 14 minutes, it'll be
I can do whatever.
What we could do is we can do the learn stuff.
Maybe you'll do half the video.
We could do the learn stuff and then go into new products, and we'll probably just have enough time because I have 3D printing videos.
We also have questions, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Look, we always have this Mitch video.
Yeah. So we
Locked and loaded.
we might postpone the interview because we have a lot of stuff to go on the show.
But Mitch is forever. Don't worry.
Until live shows. Okay.
Yeah.
So learn guys this week.
Yeah, we are doing
963.
awesome. 940 or so.
It's a lot. Okay. What do you got this week?
So this one just came live. This is a gorgeous photo. I mean, this is awesome. This is Erin St. Blaine, who's been doing some super awesome LED light projects. I mean, like, I don't know anyone doing more advanced LED light projects. So what she's spinning is LED poi, and those are actually drawing those fireballs. So she's got a Teensy 3.1, some dot star LEDs, a big battery, and it's just like a really big poi, and then she spins it around and it has patterns and like dragons and fireballs. And of course the photos look great, and she does this is her art form. She does LED art and fire spinning. Obviously this is light spinning, but it's a lot safer. And check out this tutorial. It's an update for the other LED poi. These are bigger. They're like half a meter of, a quarter meter each side, so half a meter total of LED strip. And of course they look awesome for light painting as well.
Okay, next up.
We have a tutorial for the Feather 32U4 Fona. That's the board that's coming out today that we will talk about shortly in the new products. It's an Atmega 32U4, so it's like a micro or a Flora processor, Arduino compatible. It comes with USB battery charging, a couple extras, strips on the side, and a cellular voice data SMS capable processor with Bluetooth as well. So this cell phone module has a lot of capabilities, and I talk about them in this tutorial. Basically, you can turn this into a voice phone, make calls. You can use Bluetooth with it, so you can use a headset if you would like. You can do SMS, send and receive. You can do GPRS data, kind of anything that you could do with a cellular module, and it's very compact, and it's compatible with all of our Feather wings. So if you would like to make a Feather project and take advantage of our Feather ecosystem, but have cellular, this is our 2G model, and I'm thinking about how to do a 3G model. Don't have anything done quite yet, but thoughts are being thoughted.
Okay, next up.
Next up, this is Becky's project from today. This is a fun project. So we've just put these NFC wings in the store. And so she's like, hey, I want to make something that when I go to my computer and I put my hand on the desk, it will log me into my computer. So you take the unique identifier of the ring and you tie it to the code in the Arduino Leonardo. And then it looks like a keyboard. So when you plug it in and you have the ring pass over it, it will type out your password and log you in. And this is just a demo showing, I mean, there's dozens of projects you can do that are similar, but it's just one of the examples of something you can do with one of the NFC rings or the little tags that we have that can be embedded in literally your nail if you want, or another small wearable. So NFC is kind of nice because you don't need a battery in the ring. It's powered by the radio waves of the transceiver. So yeah, you can wear this ring and it'll work forever.
Okay, next up.
This is the Tony D tutorial I mentioned earlier. Thank you, Tony D, for taking on this project. He is adapting and updating all of our libraries from Python to be Python 3 compatible, not just Python 2. I write all my code in Python 2, so there's a little love to get them to be Python 3 compat. Doing PEP 8 space and tab fixing up Nisant, and also putting everything into PyPy so that you can install it through the built-in Python package manager. So this tutorial is on using analog digital converters with the Raspberry Pi. Here's with the BeagleBone. BeagleBone has ADCs already, so you probably wouldn't need this. But a great little demo for analog digital converting. With a Pi, you can read in analog values. So great for lots of low-cost sensors. Potentiometers, light, temperature, strain gauge. He did a demo with a scale. You can use the ADS. It's high quality enough that you can use it to read a load cell without any filtering, so you can just like measure weights. So all sorts of fun stuff you can do with your Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
This is a tutorial from last week's product. This is the DS3231 Precision Real-Time Clock. This is just a very, very high-quality real-time clock that you can add to any of your microcontroller or microprocessor projects. It like doesn't lose more than like 1 second per year or something ridiculous. It's very, very precise. Add a coin cell, it works over I2C. It's super easy. You set the time, and then it has a temperature-compensated oscillator on the inside. It keeps track of the temperature and adjusts how many ticks, so that even if the temperature changes, the timekeeping stays steady because the crystal speed changes slightly with temperature. So it compensates that internally for a higher precision. So you don't have to add an extra crystal. It's built into the package.
Okay.
There's a lot of tutorials.
Yeah, there's more.
I know. Okay, this is actually a really interesting tutorial by Phil B. And he's like, but this tutorial doesn't have any Adafruit products in it. I'm like, you don't have to have Adafruit products in tutorials. Like, this is a really useful information. He kind of ties together many threads of how to create your animatronic or character or cosplay costume and make it realistic. So just going through some really good examples, things to look for. I mean, I know that when you were doing the puppet shows, you read a lot about puppetry and Muppetry. Because
reread, it's one of those things where the idea of Circuit Playground is like it's 20 years old, and the puppetry hasn't changed that much, and so there's these great old books. So, but right before we started doing Circuit Playground, I revisited a bunch of texts and things that inspired me, and the first time I've seen anyone kind of also capture it was Phil's
and it's
learning guide.
And it's like there's this fine line between like a character that you believe in, and something that looks wooden and like for lack of a better term dead. It doesn't look like it's alive. So being able to when you're doing animatronics or costuming or anything where you want to give something life, I mean it doesn't even have to be humanoid. It can be like the famous Pixar lamp, or there's this little robot with speakers that I think Wick Winscott did. There's ways to make something lovable by forming it and the actions and how you do it. Anyways, I read the tutorial because Phil B is really interested in this, and he does costuming and animatronics, so he knows a lot. So I would read it just even if you have no interest, just read it. Just go read it.
So there's two more. There's the 32 for Breakout.
This is an updated tutorial. This used to live on lateada.net, and I forgot to update it to adafruit.com, so now it's on Learn. It's a very old product, but it's still active and loved. I updated it to use the Arduino IDE and bump the board package manager. So if you have one of these boards, you no longer need to use tcduino or any weird package board manager. It's very easy now. You just use the IDE, install the Adafruit package manager, and it's in there, and you're ready to rock.
Okay.
And finally, this is the Pip-Boy 3000. This is from the video from last week. This is an awesome, fully 3D printed Raspberry Pi with a TFT Pip-Boy. And what's cool about this is it actually has maps. So you can have it show your current location, but in the Fallout 4 map style. They added rotary knobs and buttons and LEDs. So this is an intense build, but a really awesome build as well. You can modify it to fit your arm if you like, but if you want to have a really real working Pip-Boy that doesn't just fake it with a phone, this actually has knobs and buttons, and you can adapt it as well. An awesome Raspberry Pi project.
Okay, so that's it. All at learn.adafruit.com.
I know, there's a lot this week. A lot went live.
Okay, so we'll put the interview for next week. We're going to do a wearable video, and this is the video that came out today.
This is the NFC.
Yep.
NFC, take it away, Becky.
The new NFC ring. now available in several sizes at Adafruit. In addition to being the newest member of our NFC family, it's also the most wearable. Here's an easy project perfect for your new ring. Have it enter your computer password when you wave your hand over your desk. You'll need an Arduino Leonardo, Adafruit NFC shield, and basic soldering tools. Let's get started. And since we're using an Arduino Leonardo for its built-in keyboard functionality, we'll need to cut and rewire the IRQ pin to 6. Assemble the NFC shield according to its guide on the Adafruit Learning System. From there, you just need to load the sample Arduino code to read your ring's unique tag. Then update the program to look for your tag and type out your password. Depending on the thickness of your desk, you can mount the circuit below with screws or foam tape. Then, whenever the reader scans your ring, it will type out your password, optionally followed by a carriage return. The NFC ring will also work with our previous unlocking project built for an Android phone. No nail polish necessary, although we do have another new tag that's super slim in the store that would work really well for the nail polish project. Check out both project guides and many more NFC and RFID tutorials on the Adafruit Learning System. The link is in the description.
All right, we're not slowing down. We're just going to keep moving. 3D printing. Okay, we have 2 3D printing videos. This is the time-lapse one.
Yeah, evil face.
Into the next one.
Bombs! Bath bombs!
In this project, we're 3D printing molds to make DIY bath bombs. This is a pretty fun way to make custom bath bombs, soap, or even chocolate just in time for that special Hallmark holiday. We've remixed the design from our previous Stocking D20 project and simplified it a bit so that it's easier to demold. You can also modify the design if you'd like. We have the download link in the description. The 2 parts don't need any support material and each takes about 30 minutes to 3D print. You could also try using water-soluble filament, which lets you print more details and you won't have to demold because it dissolves in water. The main ingredients are baking soda, citric acid, and cornstarch, which also holds everything together. But you should also try experimenting with different scents and colors. To keep the ingredients from activating while mixing, you want to add the liquids in at a small amount of time. Once it's all nicely blended, you'll need to pack the mix into the molds as tightly as possible, and it's a good idea to pack more than necessary so that the 2 halves actually fuse together. Join the 2 halves together by pressing them tightly and remove the excess from the sides. You want to try to smooth out those edges so that there's less of a seam. Now to hold the parts together, we'll just use a few rubber bands. And once that's done, we can let the bath bombs dry overnight, or for faster drying, you could just pop them in the freezer for about a half an hour. With our mix fully dry, we can demold by tapping on the sides until they come loose. And that's pretty much it. There we have it, our icosahedron bath bomb. Now all that's left to do is to toss it in the bathtub and enjoy. These are pretty great to customize with different colors and scents, and it's a lot of fun for kids too. So how would you guys customize your bath bombs? You can let us know in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more 3D printing projects from Adafruit.
Okay,
We're back.
3D printing. And tomorrow, 3D Hangouts with Noah and Pedro. You'll see this video and more, and their layer by layer, and all their cool stuff. The longest running 3D printing show on the internet. Okay, Leonida, before we get to new products, code is NFC, all the way up to
Nifik.
11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
We got new products, so we're gonna probably finish right on time now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is working out. All right, let's do this.
Look, we've only been doing this for 6 years.
Yeah. Well, there's we're expanding what we're doing constantly.
New.
Yeah.
New.
Okay. So first up, a cable.
Actually, this is a double cable set. We used to sell these individually, but I just wanted to have them in a pack. So these are two JST SM type cables. They are free hanging cables. These are great for EL wire, for power, for data, whatever. They show up on NeoPixel strips sometimes. They show up in EL wire for sure. And what's nice about these is they snap lock together and they're free hanging. So they don't connect on a PCB, they connect to each other. Can you show the...
I'll show
Yeah. So this is the sockets type, and then there's also the plug type. You get one of each. They plug into each other. You get two for the price of one. What we used to sell one for like 75 cents, and now you get both for 75 cents. It just, you get more, and it's easier for us to keep track of stock because we only have to log one of them. So better for everybody.
Okay.
And also, if you're not sure which one you want because you don't know what connector you need to get, you get one of each. So it's wonderful.
Okay.
I actually really love these inline connectors.
Next up.
This is a special AV cable. It took me like 2 years to find this cable. So this is the correct AV cable for a Raspberry Pi 2 or B plus or A plus. So the Raspberry Pi now has a 3.5 millimeter tip ring sleeved connector. And if you plug in headphones, it just shows up as like headphones. You just get like left and right audio. But there's an extra connector with video on it. And the video is on the opposite pin of what most AV cables uses, so it would never work. And so we had to find a company that would make a cable where it went video, ground, left, right, not ground, video, left, right. Anyway, the whole point is that if you plug this into a Raspberry Pi B plus, A plus, or Pi 2, you will actually get left and right audio as well as video on the yellow cable the way it's intended to work. And handy if you want to get composite video and audio out of a Pi.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. This is neat.
This is very cute and very small. It is just so cute and so small. This is a micro on-the-go adapter, and I'll show this off because it's just so funny.
We have an action shot, but
we have an action shot, but I'll show how this works because it's a little.
All right.
It's a little
For
fun.
The overhead.
Yes. So this is the adapter, and the adapter is extremely small and thin. And normally when you have an on-the-go adapter, it plugs in, and then there's like a cable, and then like the thing that you want to plug in. But this is so small that what you actually do is it has these contacts here that spring contact against the USB contacts, USB-A contacts in here. So you actually like shove this into the USB-A connector, like so that the contacts point in. And it's a press fit, but it will fit. Hold on. Hold on, I have to get this like lined up perfectly. Oh man, it was working. No.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to press fit this in, and I had it working, and then I can't press fit it. Maybe I'll do the opposite. I'll plug this into USB, and then I'll use this as leverage because it's a little slim.
Yeah, so it fits exactly a device.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the way to do it. You plug it into
Wow.
the micro B, and then it plugs right in. It's kind of hard to hold on to it to fit it in otherwise. But you plug it in, and then now it's basically turned something that's a USB-A connector into a micro B connector. So handy for on-the-go stuff if you have like an on-the-go hub, or you want to like plug in something into your Pi Zero or a tablet, and you want to use a micro B connector. So this is very cute and simple and small.
All right.
Very small.
Next up, we have
This box.
a box.
This is a great box. I'm really into storage techniques and technologies. So this is a really nice storage box. We have a similar one that we're using for the Parts Pal. This one, it's just the right box. It's the right size, there's the right storage, there's little compartments. The compartments are molded in so they don't fall out. I use these all the time, so I can show on the overhead what I like about this one. So what I like about it is it's got a latch. It's got a sliding latch. So, you can lock it and it doesn't come undone. And then you can open it and you get all your things, and it's like lovely, and it's just the right size for a lot of small electronics. And it's not a big box, but I kind of like that because I can like have one for each project, and I have all the components and compartments and PCBs and any strips of SMT components and such on the side. So this is my nice little box. I like these, and so I got these for me, and then I was like, oh, I'll put them in the store as well.
Okay. All right.
It's a lovely box.
Next up, we got a book. Book.
Yes, this is a book. I remember we heard about this book like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
because when this book first came out, they were like, this is by Don Coleman is one of the authors.
It's from Make.
And it's from Make, and I can't remember off the top of my head the other two authors. It'll come to me in a second. But Sandeep something, can't remember, who does stuff with Arduino now. And what's neat about this book is that it uses the Adafruit stuff as demos. Even the front cover has a NeoPixel ring, an Arduino, and our NRF 8001 breakout. So it basically, it's a more demonstrative Bluetooth book. We also have K-Town's book, which is from O'Reilly, which is a sister imprint. And that one, the Bluetooth book that K-Town worked on is much more like descriptive, prescriptive. Like it tells you like the deep underlying technology behind Bluetooth Low Energy. This book is more descriptive. You actually get to build the projects. Like as you're learning about GAT and GAP and packet timing and beacon mode, you actually get to build the project. So we'll have a project pack for this soon, but because most of the stuff that you would use to build projects is in the Adafruit shop, which is kind of sweet. But like you can make a Bluetooth controlled lock, so you can start your Kickstarter. You can make an LED ring that changes colors. It talks a little bit about how to write your own apps as well. So I like this. This is a good pair book for the other one. I think they both have what they cover, the strength they have. This one, the other one is a lot more technical. This one is a lot more hands-on.
Okay. All right, and we have another board.
Woo!
Sweet, yeah.
This is the Arduino 101. This is the Curie-based Intel-made Arduino. This is kind of interesting. It's a full processor on the board, and it has these level shifters on it, but it can act like an Arduino. And it's got Bluetooth, and it's got Wi-Fi, and it's really new. So I want to warn people, it's really, really new. I don't know if our libraries work with it. I just got one. But it's kind of fascinating, and the price is really good. Like you get a lot. Like instead of having to get an Arduino and then Wi-Fi and then Bluetooth, and then you have a lot of RAM and flash, this is an all-in-one processor. And it's kind of interesting to see how Arduino is branching out into higher tech boards instead of just like, okay, Atmel chips. Now they're doing stuff with Intel, with the Curie, and they did the Galileo, and they did the Edison. So, yeah, interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. So I will hear more about this, and we'll give you more updates. We just got these in. Pick one up and let us know. I think most of our libraries and shields should work because we use Wire and SPI as much as possible, but kind of cool, kind of funky. Intel inside.
More boards. Here we go. Next up.
Okay, it looks kind of similar, but this is a different Arduino-shaped board chip. This is the Yun Cloud, and this is the Cduino Cloud, and this is a Arduino Yun compatible. We're not going to be carrying the Arduino Yun anymore for extremely detailed reasons.
I'll just say real quick. No, I may as well because people are going to ask. So there's a trademark fight internationally with Arduino.cc, which is the trademark holder, and Arduino.org, which is something else that isn't Arduino. And so the Arduino Yun is made by .org, not .cc.
Yeah, and it's not even.
And so we are selling it because .cc is the.
And by the way, I did ask Arduino.org to change the name of it, and I said I would sell it if you change the name, and they refused to. I said if you can't use this trademarked word.
Yeah.
It's not legal for you to do so in America. So please change the name, and I'll carry it.
Yeah,
but they
we
won't
did
do it.
at Maker Faire talk to the CEO of the .org attempt to own the Arduino name. And we said, why don't you just have another line that doesn't have any of the trademark issues, and
because the Yun's a great design,
and
I
we'll
love
purchase those right away.
Yeah.
Uninterested. So, anyways, we have the C Cloud.
Anyhow, so Seed has a compatible board that can do many of the things. I think it's chip and pin compatible. It looks a little bit different, But otherwise, all the Yun projects that you might want to do, you can use with this board. The module's just a little bit bigger, and so the chip's on the other side. But for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same function. It's got the Linux computer. It's an AR9331 Wi-Fi, open WRT type thing underneath the CAN, and then there's a bridge software that goes between the Wi-Fi module and the Atmega 32U4 on the bottom that allows you to basically get all the benefits of the real-time pin twiddling, analog digital reading of an Arduino Leonardo, which is awesome because you know and love it, and you can do PWMs and servo control, and you can talk to the bridge mode and have it like grab web pages or like submit XML files or like parse a JSON file, like all the stuff that you can't do with 2K of RAM. So you get a little bit of each. So this is a nice alternative.
Works with I/O.
It works with for you. If you want to do stuff with Yun, but you want to not support a company that is using a trademark illegally, this is a really good option.
Yeah. Welcome to modern maker electronics, folks.
Look,
this is what we wake up to. It's just like, okay, there's a fight. How do we move things around, and how do we continue to get products to makers and not have a bunch of baggage? Anyways.
It's interesting. Seed's actually manufacturing the Genuinos.
Seed is making the Genuinos. So
they'll probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they turned out they made a Genuino Yun eventually.
Yeah,
anyway, so can we just go to the next photo? So that, oh, sorry,
Oh, you want to go to the...
Yeah, I just want to show, so that the top, that metal tin that contains the AR9331, and there's the antenna that comes off of it, and then there's Ethernet, micro USB for programming, and USB host, and then can you click on the bottom? And then on the bottom is the rest of the chips, including the Atmega 32U4. And the nice thing is you can see the connectors are in line with the PCB, so they're short, so you can stack shields on top of it. It's kind of nice.
Okay. All right. Next up, soldering iron.
Not just any soldering iron. This is the Hakko portable soldering iron. This is a really nice soldering iron. If you need a portable iron, you don't want to, maybe you don't need the space or the size or the complexity of the larger Hakko, the FX888. This is a great alternative. These are powerful, use official Hakko tips. There's a temperature adjust. Maybe I'll show that really fast on the overhead because I'm not going to turn it on because I don't want to burn myself, but there's a calibration point. You can, I'm not strong enough, but if you have,
Sure.
Yeah, I want to open.
What do you want to do?
Can you open that?
Is it a twist?
Yeah, it's to twist off.
I think this is
You need pliers.
This is on from a machine.
Yeah,
So you need pliers.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, you need pliers.
Okay. So when you grab pliers, and you can open this, and then you can replace the tip with an official Hakko tip. So you can get the full range of tips that are available for Hakko. This comes with a nice conical one. And then you can adjust the temperature with this little knob. So that's kind of nice. You get all the benefits of temperature adjustment without needing to have like a full base. And then it's got a nice grounded molded plug. A great addition for your workshop. 120 volt, 74 watt, super powerful. Zoom.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Next up.
FX600.
So we have. Do you want to do the rings or the tags first?
Let's do the tags first.
Okay, we have little tiny RFID tags. These are cute.
So it's hard to tell how small this is, but it's really small.
Could they fit in a ring?
It could fit in a ring. So this is actually what I went to grab first because we were doing the projects with the RFID nail polish, and I was trying to find NFC tags that you could use that with. So let me find one of these. They're so small. Okay, so here it is. So can we go to the overhead because it's just so small? It's just so small. So this is the tag. Can you zoom in? Because it's so small. It's so small. Hi. Hello. Teeny. Thank you. Zoom. So this is the tag. So it's flexible, which is kind of neat. There's a flex PCB and a little chip on it. And this is the little antenna. So this is a full NTAG 203, so it has 150 bytes of memory that you can store in it. So it's used for basically store a URL or a tag or identifier or an email or whatever. You can have actions associated with it. It's part of the ultralight family from MyFair, so it's like it's very secure. It has like an 8-byte user ID, And it works with all tablets. This is the update to the MyFair Classic. So this is supported by all devices. Like the MyFair Classic, the newer tablets don't support, but this is supported by all of them. So you don't have to worry about future proofing with this. And yeah, it's really small. Like you could like turn it into like a little nail polish thing, or you could embed it into a ring or into jewelry, which we'll show shortly. But I just thought these were super cute. And like, yeah, for a couple bucks, you can basically embed this in anything you want and have an RFID NFC tag.
Okay.
I'll put this away so I don't lose it.
Oh, and speaking of, we have it in ring sizes.
Yeah, we also have rings.
Yeah.
So these are basically rings that have that tag in them, and then there's a little jewel, and the jewel just shows you where the NFC tag antenna is, because if you flip it around, it won't work because your hand would be in the way. I mean, it might work, but it won't work as well. And I have a quick little demo for this.
Okay.
Okay, so can we go to the overhead? And you can zoom out. You don't need to have as much zoom in because this is bigger. So I have a tablet, and I've already programmed this ring to have a URL in it. So the ring, I'll show you how you can program it in. But when you hold this up to the back of your tablet, hold on. It will, oh, sorry, I don't have Wi-Fi. But if I forgot to set up the Wi-Fi, it will take you to the URL encoded on it. I'll just show you how to do that, and then maybe I'll fix that bug. Hold on.
Do you want me to go to the
now, yeah, I'll do that in a second, but I want to show the NFC tools, because this is how you write it. So again, when you touch this to the back, it will, you can read and write the tags. So you can write, so right now there's a URL, but you can edit the URL to be whatever you like. You can also add records, you can add commands, you can have it like unlock your phone, you can have it, go to a web page or go to your email or send it. You basically can program it. There's like all sorts of things that you can program your tablet to do. Let me quickly go to settings and remember that I should change the Wi-Fi. So what do I want to be on?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the password's the same as always. For that particular thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You should be connected now.
Hold on. It says Google Starbucks. What am I connected to? Okay, hold on.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Sorry. 1 second. Connect. Okay. I'm connected now. So now, if I go home, and again, I touch this ring to the back, now it takes me to Adafruit. So these are the kind of the commands that you can do. I mean, I have a tablet. You can do this with your phone, of course. You can do it with our. Yeah, that's the largest size.
Yeah,
we have a
really
whole bunch of sizes. This is the smallest size. So I'll also show that there's a range of sizes. You have from small, and I didn't want to put the ring size in because I don't trust it. So I put in the millimeter size instead. So you can pick whatever millimeter size you want to fit you. And these are like, they're black, they're pretty simple. But if you want to do anything automated where like, you touch a door and it unlocks because they have an NFC reader, these rings all work with our NFC shields and breakouts, and works with all tablets and stuff too. This is all used NTAG 213. The rings use 213 and the micro tag is 203, but they're the same family and they're very well supported. So that's kind of why I like these. So yeah, if you big fingers or small fingers or anywhere in between, check it out. Fun way to add automation to your project.
Okay.
That's my demo.
So last but not least, the star of the show besides you tonight is this.
Yay! It is another feather.
More feathers.
It's unending, the feather party. Hold on, let me put this
More
ring
feathers.
away. After we're done, you can pick out the ring you want.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a 7. Okay, hold on.
Last time someone gave me a ring, I had to throw it in a volcano.
I know, the folks in new products were like, we want to make more jokes about rings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, nerds. We love you all, nerds. I'm a super Lord of the Rings nerd,
We're
too.
doing an electronics show. I believe this is as nerdy as it gets.
This is totally okay. Look, we had a D20 bath bomb. I don't know if you're paying attention.
Yeah, this is you're at the
We're at the top.
pinnacle.
Tippity top.
Okay, so do you want to show this?
I do.
This feather fona.
I will show this feather fona. So this is the feather fona. It's the latest in the line of feathers. So like all of our feathers, it's got the same shape. It's got micro USB. It's got battery charging built in, runs off of a LiPo, and it has a cellular module. And the cellular module, pardon me, I'm hiccuping, can do quite a lot. It can do voice. You can connect a microphone and speaker if you want to do like actual voice phone call. You could make your own phone. It has data, so you can do GPRS if you want to send and transmit data from a website. We have tutorials, MQTT libraries, examples, and all that for the fona module. We actually added Bluetooth. We have the modules that Bluetooth built in, so you can connect it from a computer to control and transmit data, and or you can have an audio link. So I guess a handless headset. What are they called? Hands-free headset.
Hands-free.
You use a hands-free headset, the Bluetooth ones. I don't have one, so I couldn't test it, but it showed up as like the right Bluetooth device, so I guess it would work. You can also send and receive SMSs, and then you can add it to any of our feather wings, so you can add an OLED or a motor control or servo, and you can basically create your like Internet of Things or cellular of things. People really love the fona module, so we just kind of compressed it all down into this little shape. So you want to show the overhead? I'll just show it off a little bit. So this is the fona feather, and so this is a cellular module, and then you can connect your antenna here, use any GSM antenna. And I am thinking about a 3G module version as well. So that's planned, but this one's only 2G. But we sell 2G SIMs, and 2G works in almost all countries, and in the US. If you use T-Mobile, you can use 2G just fine. You plug in your battery over here, and this already lights up and is like ready to connect to the cellular network. You would connect plug in your SIM card over here. Maybe actually I'll show off my I have one that's already built.
I'll ask the question now while you do this.
Ask a question.
Because it's going to get asked in a variety of different ways. So where do these work?
These work anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world?
You just need to get a 2G SIM.
Okay.
Or a GSM SIM. But in Europe, they're absolutely easy to get. In America, just get a T-Mobile SIM. T-Mobile works great. We also sell Ting.
Yeah, we have Ting on our
We
side.
suggest Ting because the pricing is really, really good. You only use what you need to use. So this is a Ting SIM here. So unplug this battery, and you slot the micro SIM on the back, and that's pretty much it. It just locks in place, and that's it. So now you can do, if you connect a microphone and speaker, like on this demo. I remember I called you on this demo phone. You can now make phone calls because it has a speaker and microphone. You would control the phone number by sending it a command. So you could. You don't want to make a phone that has one button, all it does is call you. So I can do that. Okay. You can send and receive SMSs, you can do data transfer, you can use MQTT, you can connect to Adafruit I/O, we have example code for that. It's all actually pretty straightforward. It's like we've had the fona module in the store for so long that we have a lot of, we've really nailed down cellular. Like we've gotten all the code and examples and like tweaking it and like parsing all the data, so we have a good library that does almost everything you need to do. And it doesn't use that much memory either. You just use a lot of flash strings. So you can use the 3264 for PWM and LEDs and parsing data and controlling OLEDs or whatever.
Okay.
And then...
What else do you want to show? We're going to try to do some questions. I'm glad we didn't do the interview video.
No, I thought maybe I'd really briefly just show... like I have some examples of feather wings. I don't have a demo. Like I kind of ran out of time for your demo. But I can show just like a feather wing example. So like here's one of the examples of like an add-on. So we have a feather wing that's going to come out that's a 16 by 8 LED. So this plugs in right on top and it matches with any of our feathers. We also have data logging capability. So this is a feather wing that adds a real-time clock and micro SD card, so you can do data logging. We also have, I used to have one that had GPS, but that's, I don't know where it went. But basically, we have one in the store that can do servo, OLED, motor control. We're going to have a bunch of relay ones as well, so you can add relay control. So basically, like plug and play, and you can stack these up and add more functionality to your feather. So I think that's going to be fun. But basically, just extending the feather family, and all of them are cross-compatible, which is really nice. So you can use your accessories from one with the other. Now we just have cellular.
Okay. And with that, Lady Ada was new products. Good work.
Thank you. Yeah, last week was Wi-Fi and this week is cellular, so we're rocking.
Let's do some speed round, so keep your answers to pretty short. We're going to do some questions. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Post up your questions, and we'll get to them as fast as possible. I have some that are there. First question, someone says, what's the code for tonight? Good question. NFC. 10% off in the Adafruit store. Any of the things that we have that are in stock, 10% off. Okay, next up. Here we go. Any info on the Pi Zero availability? I can do that one. We don't know when we'll get them. When we do,
we have a purchase order, but it's not fulfilled
yet.
We
don't know anything. What we do know is we're giving away 10. Just go to hackaday.io and we're giving away 10 because that's all there is on
free
on Earth. Right?
You don't even you don't pay for shipping. You don't pay for anything.
Okay, how do you get the GPRS parameters for your Ting SIM card?
You know, actually, that's an excellent question because I recently had to deal with this. There actually aren't any parameters you really need. It doesn't seem to need an APN detail. I set it to wholesale. In the tutorial it says like where to enter it in. And on the Ting website, because somebody was asking me this, I looked it up and it will tell you the APN name, which is wholesale. Like that's the name of it, wholesale. But honestly, you can set it to anything and I've never had any problems with Ting. It always just worked. You don't need a username or password.
Okay.
Kind of nice.
Max speed of Arduino Uno for making a laser tachometer, 52 milliseconds per rotation with a photodiode.
You can do single instruction GPIO reads, but you'll have to process that data. You can run the Uno at 16 megahertz. I assume that you can probably read and I mean, you can do an interrupt-based thing as well. But I'd say anything that's 4 megahertz or less, you can probably do. Okay. Probably.
Boy, lots of questions. So just answer
I'll do them, yeah.
All right. I got a Feather Huzzah to upload data to Adafruit.io, but is it normal for the sketch to pause while uploading to Adafruit.io?
Yes. I mean, it's going to be doing that data transmission and waiting for the acknowledgement. That can take a second or two.
What's the difference between the Arduino with 32U and the Breakout that we have?
Oh, the Breakout's just a very old design. It's from
We did that like 3 years ago.
Oh, that was more than 3 years ago. That was like 6 years ago. That was even before the Leonardo or the Micro. It was a very long time ago, and it's actually probably going to be discontinued. It's not very popular, but if you want just a Breakout with all the pins, it was not designed to be Arduino compatible, but now everything kind of has to be Arduino compatible. So the Feathers are kind of where I'm going, where it has the 32U4 processor, but it's in standard shape and size, but has the Arduino compatibility kind of built in.
Okay, next up, can the 5-inch 40-pin TFT display 800 by 480 with touchscreen product 1596B run off a LiPo? How's it powered? I'm considering a mobile application with it.
I mean, you can run off a LiPo, but not very well. You definitely need to have a power boost 1000. You need something that can supply at least an amp of current at 5 volts. You do need to run off of 5 volts. I'd get a big USB power pack and just run your project off of that. It's kind of the easiest thing to do.
Okay. Why aren't the Megas in stock? We haven't made them, right? Like we're making Megas.
I think we're just probably in between manufacturing. We'll have more in stock soon.
Does the RFID tag like the one we showed set off security systems in stores?
I don't think so. I mean, it's a different... Security systems in stores they use like a resonance thing. They don't use RFID. RFID, it's only good for up to 4 inches. So that would be bad for security system because you would just put it in a bag and surround it with like a sweater and like you would be more than 4 inches away from the reader. So they use something else.
Okay. Next up, I want to make a Raspberry Pi communicate with the PC, then print a drawing from a laptop to a Bluetooth printer via the PIA. I think that
Raspberry Pi communicate with the PC and then print a drawing. What I would do is actually have an Ethernet connectivity, like some sort of wireless, like Wi-Fi or something. That's probably the easiest way. Like have both of them have an IP address and then like have a socket process to send commands back and forth. That's kind of the easiest. I mean.
Next up, do you have a suggestion for what OS people should start with Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, try Noobs.
Okay.
It's for noobs, but new out-of-the-box experience. That or Raspberry and Jessie is the kind of standard now.
Do you need a power boost when powering one of the solar panels in the shop?
You might, yeah. If your project needs 5 volts, you'll need to boost the LiPoly. You'll use a solar to charge the LiPoly, and the LiPoly gets boosted up to 5 volts.
Okay. I think we've got most of them. Someone says, what should I do if my Pi Zero doesn't light up when I plug it in?
It won't light up unless you have a valid operating system on the SD card, so make sure you burn the right SD card image. Don't copy the file over. You have to burn it using like SD formatter or whatever. It won't light up until it gets an operating system on it.
Okay. Do you have any plans for Power over Ethernet products?
I do, but I have to do some testing, and I want to make sure that they work with official Power over Ethernet devices, because it's a standard that you want to get right. Otherwise, you get 48 volts going the wrong direction. It's kind of sad.
Okay. Would you recommend the book Art of Electronics for intermediate beginner electronic builder?
It's good for reference. There's a lot of other books that we have that might be better for beginners. The Art of Electronics is kind of best when you already know a bunch of electronics and you're using it to like extend your knowledge. I mean, like it is in a sense a beginner book, but it's not good for, I don't find it's good for learning from. I find it's good for if you don't know what you're learning. Does that make sense? So we have, a bunch of other books in the store, and like the Forrest Williams books are really good. Those will get you started, and then once you're like, okay, I kind of understand it, I just need the details of how to pick an op amp. That's what the Art of Electronics is really good for.
This person asked last time about an LDRS and meant that he wants to know if someone is getting in or out of his room with two lasers at the LDR. Please tell me how to set up code.
I mean, you can have the laser. You can have the laser point at the LDR, but it's going to get out of sync really easily. Like if it bumps even a little bit, it won't work anymore. That's why a PIR sensor is kind of better.
Okay, we're gonna speed run two more.
Yep.
And get you out of here. Okay. Next up, what would be better for an RPI handheld console, the Kippa add-on or the HDMI 4Pi?
The Kippa would be better because it uses a lot less power for a handheld. It's much smaller. You basically save like 200 to 300 milliamps right off the bat because you don't have the HDMI decoder.
Maybe you can write this one. Trying to convert a noisy, descuffed
Serial
signal for BeagleBone. So this is a BeagleBone question.
Yeah, you don't want to use an op amp. You want to use a logic level shifter. So maybe like a 74 LVC 245. You want logic, not op amp. Op amps are good for analog signals or not. That's not what you want to use for a digital signal because again, they're not rail to rail either. So I would definitely go with a logic level converter or gate.
Okay. And with that, Lady Ada, those are questions.
Okay.
Good work.
Thanks. That's a lot of questions.
You did it. Okay,
Yay.
We're going to give away something. What do you want to give away this week?
We're going to give away a fona feather.
You're going to give away a phone of feather?
Yeah, I think
wow.
so.
All right. It's a big deal.
I think that's like because it's, that's what we're working on.
Okay, what are the rules?
The rules are if you've won anything before from this show, you can't win again. Only one winner per my lifetime. The first person to answer the question the way Phil wants it spelled in the Twitch or YouTube chat is the winner of a fona feather. You don't get any other stuff with it, but it's phone a feather, but you can do a lot with it. You just get a SIM card and go to town.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What year was the last time Halley's Comet appeared in the inner solar system? Now, if you've been paying attention to our time travel segment that we do, usually that's when people are like there, but since we didn't do that, I thought it'd be tricky. So when was the last time Halley's Comet was in the inner solar system? What year? And
remember, only enter if you've never won before. And don't give hints. Let people guess on their own or learn something about the magic of space.
Yeah, when was it there? All right. Congratulations, @pupil_1 in Twitch, 1986. So you
I got somebody guessed 1985, 1987. You're off by 1 year.
Yeah. So congratulations, @pupil_1 in Twitch. Good work. Here's the story. Here's the scoop.
Okay.
Last time Halley's Comet was in the inner solar system, it was 1986, and it appears every 75 to 76 years. So next time folks will see it will be 2061. So I feel like we're kind of fortunate because I think we might just be on the
We might barely get to see it.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but do you remember? Were you around?
Yes,
I did. It was a big deal.
I mean, I was young, but I saw it vaguely. I mean, I don't know if I. Back then we didn't have digital cameras, so I don't have any proof that I saw it.
Yeah. So
@pupil,
@pupil_1 email support@adafruit.com and tell them you won a phone feather.
Phone a feather, congratulations! You won something.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. Good work, and hopefully many of you will be around for Hallie's comment.
We'll all get together. We'll do a viewing
In 2016.
over YouTube or whatever the YouTube we have at the time is.
Okay, that's the show this week.
All right, thanks, everybody.
This week. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all the remote folks and folks at Adafruit who makes this possible. Thank you to you, our customers, who make it possible for us to do this. We don't have any loans, venture capital. We do weird things like interview folks out there that are doing interesting things or not. We have show and tells. We have all these video shows. So thank you for supporting us and making this possible. There's really nothing else like this right now. We'll be here next week. Tomorrow is 3D Hangouts with Noah and Pedro. And that's it. Here's a picture of a cat.
Meow.
And here's your moment of Zener. See you next week, folks.
Later.